Hello there and welcome to my channel. This is Kate in the Nest and I'm so glad to be saying it as if everything is usual because it is. So I am hoping that you are well. It's already midweek and time is flying, but I hope that, as I often say, you've got just some time out for you in watching this. However busy you are, I hope you've got a minute either to stitch along, make along, watch along, go to sleep along to it. It doesn't matter. It's time for you because I have some treasures to share. And mostly they are the result of me coming home from Melbourne yesterday and not being able to believe that my first boxes of treasures had arrived from India. And you might remember me being a little disappointed a week ago. I think it was a week ago because I wanted them to be here before I went to Melbourne and for my workshop. They weren't, but I'm going to show you a sneak peek. And I made a little post yesterday and I couldn't on Instagram and I couldn't wait to share it with you. I do have a new set of rings as a result from my time in, I'll take this one off because it falls off a lot anyway, from my time in Melbourne. Zoe, Missy and Kristen discovered a store in Fitzroy and they said, Kate, you must go there. We insist. And when my girlfriends get insisty, I do what they say. And it's because they found these ceramic rings there. Now they're made by a girl, Sasa, and I don't know much about her at all, but the shop was called, I've got the packet here and I've buried it, Beaded in Fitzroy, Melbourne. I'm sure if you search. But this is my gift to you today to show you these glorious little rings. They all have different bands on them, and this one is my husband was there and he said you can wear that as a Kate in the Nest wedding band, meaning I'm wedded to my craft. Isn't he wonderful? And look, they're glorious. This little one, I wasn't going to get this one and he insisted, and I just went and told him that thank you very much, and he was right because the colours. Now I am wearing something unusual because I know you're always interested in my sleeves. I have just swung around my neck a sari. Don't worry, I'm not wearing saris, but to show you, I thought this would be the best way, and then you'll get the colour all the way through the video. Silk, vintage, greens and reds. And so I'm finally, well, I've always liked wearing green. That's the funny thing. But it was just when I started, I didn't like stitching. So, gee, I'm talking fast. I'm so happy to be home and I had the most wonderful time in Melbourne. I've got some more to share and show you about what I was stitching in my last days there. But I thought, and I have to tell you, I'm not going anywhere until June. So please do not think, like that was not a normal set of 3 months with the travel I did. But it certainly was glorious. And so that's why we're jumping back to India, because I have been waiting for some treasures to show you. Now, dingle dangles are everywhere. And I wanted to say, oh, have I got the other? Not sure. I sent a picture of this to Colette last night from CC Davis because she's a beader and I get attracted when I'm over there to these little things that can hang on a wall, but I will harvest and get 3 at least pieces out of this to share. They're the mirrored work. Oh, I better be careful. I don't know what that could have been blinding you. I'm sorry. But everything is cotton. Look at that for a bit of fluoro backing. My gosh, I hadn't even done that. So every part of it is an adventure and the sound. And look at those beautiful flowers, buttons. So speaking of all the things that we love, which is really just pretties, isn't it? We're bowerbirds. Well, I'm a bowerbird, I freely say that. So whether I needed a pouch or not, this one arrived, I'd packed it, and the bird motif gets me every time, as do flowers. I will give this a wash. It's lined and has a zipper, but that is just a glorious example. And look, I keep saying I'd never been to India, but they do the things that I love naturally and have been talking to you about. Okay, so I might just put those over there with just showing you the dangles. So my big thrill was this visit. I really wanted to get into the fabrics that I can use in my workshops and share with you as bundles. And I'm not going to call them kits because I can't wrap things up in cellophane, but I will do it the Kate way. And this one is totally a favorite of mine. So I'm starting with it first. It is the softest cotton. And then it has all of these motifs. Now, what a joy to stitch that. So I will be making something out of this and stitching it. So stay tuned because it is just dying for that. So pink candy stripe with the marigold flowers. I just wanted to check that I'm in the middle there for you. So stitching, I'm getting better at that. So just adore that. I have a whole heap of block prints to show you, but before, I'm going to just, as I said, we'll do one thing and then we'll do another. I love collecting little bits and pieces, and this framed photo, I'd forgotten, well, it's not a photo, it's a drawing. Look at that. They use those little tiny nails to put it in, and look at the detail on the frame. So all the colors, so we're pinks and we're golds and all the colors of the rainbow. Okay, where shall I start? I could do it in a color rainbow. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to start here with, these are what I call, or can be used in pouches and totes and in my vases with flowers as a neutral in my style of work. So they're this beautiful, what would we call that colour? You're telling me, aren't you? Is it mustard? Certainly not beige, but every fabric is pure cotton. I'm going to, did I say this already? I'm going to wash them before I use them, just to take out any sense of shrinkage if people are worried about that. But everything goes together. So I'm going to keep some. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep some. I'm going to put some aside for workshops. And I know a lot of you can't do my in-person workshops, so then I'm going to offer the rest in bundles. And that will happen pretty soon because I was waiting. Let's leave the block prints to the side for a moment and feast our eyes on this big floral. So, you know, you can get everything in India, and All of it is beautiful. I bought this one because it has that feeling of being hand drawn, but again for thread painting and for embellishing, like my art on the heart workshops and kits. And if you don't like pink or purple, or this isn't purple, I don't know why I said that, sorry, you can change the color. And they've got these big white florals as well, and these golden leaves. So every flower is sort of different, and I love that there. So I sort of certainly didn't buy it for the color of the background. I bought it for the blooms themselves. So we've sort of gone naturals and traditional block prints into very big flowers. Now we're going to, again, go a little bit back to what you see often on the walls and the wallpaper is a block print like this, a solid color, and then there's lots of information about block printing. I actually bought a wooden block home last time. Did I show that to you? I haven't tried, but it's layer upon layer. So the background, then stamping, 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 etc. So I love that one. So that's on our mustard side. So now I'm going to segue you in into more and more of the garden. Again, look at these, and we're going to use them in our slow stitching as the basis for our embroidery. Pure cotton, without the treatment that sometimes is on the quilted fabric, and instantly we'll have that soft delight. So, I mean, it's mind-blowing how many different flowers are out there, isn't it? But see how everything is matching? It's all so exciting. So this one, ta-da, ta-da! I think of the quilting fabric that we often go very excitedly crazy over because of strawberries. I looked at this and thought, well, this is the Indian version of strawberries. Are they pomegranates? Because pomegranates are, found everywhere there. And I had that on my cereal and in my fruit salad every day. I don't know, but that will give the same effect. They can be harvested or used as a square, a pocket, the lining of a pouch, the back of a flowers in vases. Who knows? But you will see more of this. This one is interesting in that it reminds me of the Natalie Latte. I wonder, hang on, I'm not going away, everyone. I'm just coming over here. I was sure I had a pile of neatly organised, but I did really try to organise my fabrics before I went away, but I can't find it. I bought one in my Perth videos that reminds me of this. So again, a stripe. Look at everything. We're going to have so much fun. And if you don't see, we can beige it and neutral it down, or we can pop it. Now, you're probably bored with fabric, so let's have a look at this piece. I love things that are beaded. I think you know that. And I love things that are heavy. So it doesn't matter what on earth this was intended to be, because I just felt it in my hands and loved it. And I showed Colette this one last night. Look, these are all birds with an emblem in between them. and it goes all the way across here and up and up, and then this little pattern. Now I've been analysing this, and it's been sewn, each of those beadings must have been done separately. I follow an amazing beader on Instagram. Let's just do, because that's coming away there, a little experiment. I'm not going to touch the beads, but yes, as I thought, that is done separately. So I will harvest that, and that could be a strap or the feature on a pouch or on a cuff. Oh, actually that's a good idea for wearables. That's a pocket. In fact, that's a pocket on a shirt, I think. So eyes always open, and the thing that leads me to them is just the texture and the tactileness of that. Okay, let's go back to our, this seems like a lot, but I just sort of wanted to give you a taste of the varieties, because we're hearing people talk more and more about block prints, and I just wanted to show you that there's, well, in Australia, I only see fabric that's printed and new in quilt shops. And in my life, I haven't been to them very much, but I know a lot of you have. So this is about, yeah, just us sharing beauty. I love this one, and I don't know why. I think because it's like an iCat design, and the pink and red. I don't know whether I've used fabric like that before, but I totally love it. So there's that one. See, the story goes together. You know, and this is my eclectic love. Hopefully, even if these aren't your colours, you love doing and experimenting, because I think that's what quilters do, don't you? You build new pictures out of the fabrics. And I've told you before, my father-in-law talked to me about patchwork and my mum's quilting, and he said, you've got a big piece of fabric, and why do you chop it into little bits? But that's the design and that's the art of it. So I'm just giving you an example. I've sort of got the yellows on that side, the beads. Oh, so gorgeous. All right, the brightest one I'm going to show you, because we're nearly up to the camera height right now, is this one. And again, I think of paisley. I was talking the other day about French fabric and the influence in Europe and where all these designs started. And we find, culturally, who was I talking to about that? And Mexico having the turquoise. And wherever you live, you'll probably know more about it than me. But this one, again, for harvesting and stitching, or part of the corner of a design, I'm not sure, but maybe, yeah, in my vase, who knows. So look, that is a selection of, and it looks like a lot, but I think it's 1 metre I got of each, or maybe 2 meters to keep me going through the year, not sure, but more than enough for me. It's about you, if you want to, getting your hands on some fabric that, well, I'm just looking at this Liberty from the anthology, and looking at how beauty and florals in particular, they just speak the same language, because the world is a garden. Okay, and that's going to lead me to nearly my final piece. This is a bag. And you know how I love bags. This bag I bought for the parts that have already been patchworked together. So inside it's been lined and pocketed. So someone has already made this bag as an upcycle. I'm going to upcycle, which seems quite ironic because I just love the little bits, and I will use them not with each other, but with on coats and shirts and vests and bags and everything else, but mixed with different fabrics, both Western and Eastern. Like, let's go here, for example. So forget all this yellow in the background and look at this design here that's been hand embroidered. Design is gorgeous, and the colorway that could easily go with that piece of Liberty. That just jumped into my mind. It might have be saying something completely opposite to you. It does have dingle dangles, and look at this combination, and they're not plastic. That's been a necklace, actually. Let's just take that off, because I could wear that, or one of you could wear it. So it's just been upcycled. Gosh, we're doing everything in this. Just a few stitches, not destroying anything. Wow, look at that. I mean, is it plastic? You'd have to think so. But anyway, that's why we keep our eyes out, everybody. There are so many bits. Look at that. That could be a braid. I showed you the sequins and the sparkles before. Look at that little area. Some more braidy bits. This is silk, this section. Oh, just divine. And then on the straps there's little patchworking as well. I don't know whether you can see that detail, but that would go so nicely. So we're not looking for all over. We're just, and I'm going to teach you, if you want to, and it won't be every video, but I'm going to use these in combination so the effect is not hippie or boho. It's, I don't know what to call it, but it's part of being curious and adoring. And so these are honouring the hands of just the same way we use our vintage embroidery. We're honouring the hands and the work of other makers. Just adore that. Oh, can't wait. Okay, is that it? Oh, I think I'm going to make it that it, because I could go on, and I'm not stitching this afternoon, so I'm going to leave you with this combination of, I hope it looks a bit like a material shop, a fabric shop, a textile shop, where you can just go and feast your eyes. Let's put a big flower up there. Let's put some strawberries in the bottom. I can't lose that stripe there. What else have I covered up? Oh, we need one of my ceramic rings. Oh, I'm not really good at that part, but there you are. Let's put that up there. There we go. I hope you found something that was eye candy for you. That was the purpose. And just to Oh, yes, look at that. That's a piece of Liberty as well. And she belongs just as beautifully with this. So we're going to be putting lots of different textiles and fabrics together. And if you want, you will be able to grab a bundle at some point, and I'll do a video when I release that. Okay, have a lovely Wednesday afternoon, because that's what it is here. Thank you so much for watching, and please take care of you. Bye.